What about people who do not have access to a credit card or a debit card?
Well, if you have cash, you can purchase Visa, debit cards. I think that's...
I know a lot of people who are elderly or for whatever other reasons do not use credit cards. They do not use debit cards.
Well, Senator, it's available. It's a mechanism that is available. Anybody can convert cash into electronic payment method. The electronic payment method, as Mr. Williams said, was basically a recommendation by the legislative auditors who wanted to make sure the state police could accurately track expenditures, monies coming into the department. That's why the decision was made.
Okay, again, I don't think that's fair. Another question along those same lines. You know, right now, people are allowed to visit DNR, an agent of DNR, and pay cash for a fishing or hunting license. These are not the same business license purchased from DLLR. What we're talking about is a fundamental right. It's a civil right. Why can you not make arrangements for that to happen? Because we are cutting out a group of people who may not have access, who may not want access to a credit card. You're cutting these people out, Mr. Bowen. Is that fair?
Senator, I'm not cutting anyone out. I was simply trying to address your question as to the people who did not have credit cards. And I pointed out, as Mr. Williams did in his testimony, his written testimony, that there are alternative electronic payment methods if one does not want to open
I'm
a
sorry,
credit card
my
account.
father, when he was 80 years old, who was a World War II veteran, he didn't have a credit card. We are cutting them out. I mean, I tried to teach him how to use email. It didn't work. How are people who are disadvantaged going to be able to do this? You say, well, it's all well and good. They can go out and get electronic payments somehow. But we're not talking about people who do this. This is not fair to a certain percentage of people in this state who don't know how to do these things. Is your agency going to go and teach them how to do these things?
No,
Why is it that we can go to DNR and pay cash for our fishing license, but yet we can't do the same sort of thing when we're talking about a civil right, when we're talking about the protection of yourself? That's a little more important. I mean, we make all kinds of accommodations for people who want to go fishing. We make it very, very easy. But yet it's a fundamental right to own a firearm, and you're making it overly difficult. Can we make some exceptions to that? Mr.
Short question.
Yeah, no. Well, the process, part of the, and I understand your point, but the process, we were told by the Maryland General Assembly through the budget committees, we've been told by the administration because of the process that's going on with licensing division. Right now you have several paper processes. And because of those paper processes, there are a lot of errors, there are a lot of mistakes from the applicants coming in. There are delays in processing these applications. When you go to electronic, you eliminate most of the mistakes, if not all the mistakes. When you make exceptions and you start taking in paper, one of the things that we did talk about, not here but elsewhere, is that you're seeing a 60% error rate with the 77Rs, and they're all done by hand and by, again, a paper process.
That's not, DNR doesn't have those problems when they allow people to come in. And I would think that if you could go into state police or wherever to fill out the paperwork, you'd have somebody right there to help you. For somebody who's elderly, for somebody who can't figure this out electronically. You're cutting out a percentage of the population who has a fundamental right to own and purchase a firearm. You're cutting them out. Isn't that so? Mr. Bowen?
Mr. Chairman, Senator, I respectfully disagree.
But that is the case.
No, I disagree that that's the case. I believe that there are plenty of avenues available to
So
people.
we should send them all to your office so you can help them?
No, Senator, that's not what I'm suggesting.
All right, and then moving on to another question. What remedies in place if there's a backlog of the HQL applications, somewhat similar to what we went through with 77R, the backlog with them? The law and the regs say that MSP has 30 days to issue HQL, the HQL.
Correct.
Will dealers be allowed to complete the purchase on day 31, Mr. Bowen?
No, Senator.
So what was good then isn't good now?
Senator, the statute requires that you have an HQL to purchase. The 8th day release is built into the statute. The statute says the dealer may release a regulated firearm after 7 days that the MSP has not responded. There's no equivalent provision in the HQL statute.
I'm shocked. Okay, thank you.